Hey, energy party people. Oh, cue music. Oh my gosh, I thought I was so ready. Cue music. All right, let's smudge the space. Ready to do some energy magic. I'm gonna catch up with Koop and everything. Clearing the space. All right. Let's open that up. Okay. Could you please cut the music like I'm talking to somebody else? Like I have help. Okay, so hey, energy party people, welcome to That's Right, another rousing edition of Magic Mondays. Ooh, Blanca's here. Hi, Blanca. Wow, how exciting. I'm beside myself now, Blanca. And hi, Karen. I'm glad you're here. And Blanca, I wish I knew you were coming. Well, first of all, thank you for coming. And I would have come up with a little theme song for you. But to give you an idea of the theme songs, let's play Karen's, shall we? Karen, 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 I'm Karen that you're here.
Hey,
Awesome. And I see that Yvonne is here, so can't forget Yvonne's theme song. I sing it around the house sometimes. Yvonne is in the house. Check her out. Okay, so Blanca, a theme song could be yours. Yeah, and I'm actually going to write down a little note to myself, and hopefully I'll make one for you. Anyway, and Blanca says, the party has arrived. Yes, it has, now that Blanca's here. So thank you for being here. Welcome to another Rousing Magic Mondays. Yeah, it's been an interesting week. Yeah, I've been complaining about like how hard it is to write a book and all that. But the best I can describe it is I am so in love with my book. Um, there's so much magic in it. There's so much energy that's energy and love, despite my whining. There's so much magic and love in it. I'm like jumping out of my skin, uh, trying to finish it so I can get it to an editor and eventually publish it and have a book to actually give to people after you've been hearing about it for about 2 years now. Yeah, almost as long as my show has been on my show. Yeah, so, oh, and Karen says, "My son is dancing to your theme song for me." LOL. Awesome. Yeah, so anyway, I'm, like, super in love with my book, and I just I know this is gonna sound weird, and I'm not saying it to brag because that's not how I roll. I just want people to know it's available to feel better, and that's why I'm writing my book. Um, yeah, because I keep finding ways to feel better, and for all of us, icky stuff always, comes up eventually, and or daily or hourly, especially if you're sensitive. And when you can have tools, and I share lots of tools that I use to feel better, despite what's happening in the world, despite the pandemic, despite whatever war or whatever's happening, I have ways of looking at it and cleaning it up energetically because I truly believe that when we really get triggered by something, despite how legit the trigger is, I truly believe if it's really like, oh, we can't let it go, there's old energy that's bubbling up to the surface that has the similar resonance as the trigger. And it's bubbling up for healing and clearing. And it's just the most beautiful gift when you can, in my opinion, when you start realizing that, and then you have tools to clean up when you get really upset. So if I haven't made that clear yet. Anyway, oh, Erica's here. You know what that means. Art and Erica, Erica and Art. Thank you for joining us, doing your part.
yeah,
Good stuff. Seriously, Blanca, this can be yours as well. Okay. One of my took me 3 seconds to create a theme song, so you don't wanna miss out on that. Yeah, so it's been a cool week, and what I was gonna say is I feel so good. Like, the more I discover ways to feel better and different ways of looking at the world to feel better, no matter what's happening, well, I just keep feeling better, um, which is fucking amazing because as a kid, I was kind of miserable a lot of the time and always dreading. Like, I did fine in school. I had friends, my family was together, I wasn't beaten. Um, Nothing outside that looked horrible, but yeah, I was just hanging on. I'm glad I did. I always knew college would be different, and I was not wrong. Anyway, so why am I saying all this? Well, as I'm feeling better and better and more connected and getting closer and closer and closer to finishing this book, and I'm starting another one. Yeah, it's been a little hard. It's, my for like the first 50 years, my natural resting vibe was not the best overall, and I'm not trying to be black and white about it, like, I have my good times and my bad times, but, always a background of not feeling inner peace, and just the more inner peace I feel on a daily, hourly basis, it's been an interesting adjustment, and I know it sounds like, "Oh, poor Colleen is having a hard time feeling good." Well, seriously, as you start feeling better and better, if you've spent a lifetime of not feeling great, it doesn't feel normal. Just saying. And so I'm helping myself to feel more normal about it and doing these incarnation issues that we've been playing with for the last couple of weeks with a few lovely guest stars. Thank you, ladies, for showing up. Yeah, life just keeps getting better and better. And especially with yeah, with this, like, acclimating to feeling better on a normal basis, like a regular basis, not just here and there, like, "Oh, I feel great because I'm excited about our trip," or whatever. Just feeling good just more and more of the time. I when I ask about it energetically, more often than not, it comes up as one of those incarnation issues or like I haven't fully incarnated into a part of me. Um Yeah, anyway, blah, blah, blah. We'll see if, any of this shows up, later today with the group, although I'm not sure how the incarnation issue would work with a group if we haven't done that before. But man, just the other day, I was working with, somebody who I shan't mention her name, but I did a session the other day, and she and her love are having to find a new place to live. And I don't know about you, but that brings up a lot of shit for me of like, oh, like having a solid, like, okay, this is where I get to live and I can feel safe for a while. That's a really big deal, especially for us sensitive people. And this person in I'm mentioning, she and her love are both quite sensitive, and they have to find a new house, and it just brings up all the shit. Um, yeah, and what came up for them in a nutshell was when we started asking about, like, is there something energetic that's holding them back from finding their new place? Um, it came through as an incarnation issue for the two of them as one. And just to mix their names together, I started calling them Mijo, which always made me feel like an abuela, which I am not an abuela. I'm old enough to be an abuela, but yeah. Anyway, and it was so cool. The things that came up were fascinating, and I won't bore you with it, but these incarnation issues are really interesting. So if you're really stuck on something, hit me up. Let's do a session about it. And if you're anybody watching right now, I'm happy to offer my old prices, although I have technically for new people, raised my if you want to talk to me on the phone and do a session, it's more, um, which has been great. So I don't end up okay, poof, we don't need to go there. Okay, and let's see. It looks like we have another theme song for the lovely Shannon. Shannon, Shannon, Shannon is here. Hey, Dr. Shannon. Well, thanks for being here, Dr. Shannon. Oh, and we're getting quite close to 11:11. So let's look for a lovely picture for us to focus on while we make a wish. Hmm. Let's see. How about this beauty? This is one of my pendulums I made, and I call it the rock star. I don't have this one anymore. It was sold, but oh my God, he's so handsome. And he's clearly a boy. Okay, well, we'll come back to that in a second when it's officially 11:11, when it's wish making time. Yeah. So, what else do I want to say? Let's make the wish, and then I'll go on to some other pictures of things that are happening. Um, and Shannon says, "Thank you." Shannon also mentions that she was watching To Catch a Smuggler, and ketamine was a popular smuggled drug. Ooh, interesting. Yeah. Oh, that's right. It's 11:11. So let's look at the rock star and make a wish if you feel like it. Here we go. Oh, okay. So, how about, well, first of all, let me just show this. So we started, we went through a company. Oh, I should probably know what it's called, like Hamama or something like that, hamama.com. And basically it's all about microgreens, and they make it super easy. Like growing sprouts is no big deal. But this is in a pretty little tray, and they basically send you these like quilts of seeds, and then you just put the quilt in, you put some water on it, and then you kind of do nothing. And then they bust through the quilt, and we're very excited because it's our first crop. And yay, we get to eat sprouts. These are, I decided to start with a bang, and we are starting with the wasabi mustard sprouts. Anywho, good story, Colleen. But yeah, they're just like, it's just so much fun, and they're so cute. And that's kind of a weird picture because you're looking down through what I like to call the murder hole, down into the living room from upstairs. Yeah, anyway. And just to be real clear, the murder hole was something that I that we got to go. Well, we, meaning my first husband Jim, on our honeymoon, we went to Ireland, and we went to Blarney Castle. We did not kiss the Blarney Stone because all the guys at Fox and Goose are like, "Oh, you never kiss the Blarney Stone." All the Irish people, they're like, people locals pee on it. Okay, well, there's no fucking way in hell I would have kissed the Blarney Stone because they, like, kind of, you have to be back, and the men lean you back, and then you can upside down kiss the Blarney Stone. Fuck no. Yeah, no. Anyway, and man, that creeped me out because a lot of skinny, like, staircases and whatever, but my favorite part was like above, I guess, like it was the ballroom or something, like where maybe they'd have their feasts or parties, and there was a cutout in the castle above that, and it was called the murder hole. And basically, if there were intruders, um, I guess they'd have to know there were intruders ahead of time to be boiling the oil to get it good and hot. So they'd kind of pour boiling oil over intruders through the murder hole. Good story, bruh. Okay, so that being said, I wanted to show you one more thing. Oh, but I don't have a picture of it. Wah, wah. But basically, I tried to grow some mushrooms a while back. Yeah, those kind of mushrooms. And I went through a person who, yeah, I bought his kit and everything, and I probably didn't do it right, obviously, and it just never happened. And but so there were these like 3 bags of like soil, like really great soil, and something else in there to like really help them. And so I like did the little inoculation of the mushroom spores into each one. Nothing happens. I reused earth, why not? I just threw it in our potting soil, and it's only happened in one repotted plant. So there's this beautiful plant in our living room, and all these mushrooms are growing, and they're probably magic mushrooms, but I am sure as hell not going to try them because no, I'm terrified of this stuff. Um, so I'd rather buy them from a stranger if I'm going to do them. Anyway, good story. Okay, it looks like we have a couple comments. Karen's right. Sprouts are awesome. Like microgreens are really great. And Erica's right. They are cute and microgreens are so healthy. I can't wait to have some of them. Anyway, oh, and this just in. I haven't eaten red meat since the 6th grade. So what I'm 56 and I stopped eating like when I was 11. So it's been a while. And just the other day at the store, this isn't going to excite anybody other than me, but for the first time, like I was buying ground turkey and they had turkey chorizo. So I'm really excited. I've never tasted real chorizo, but I've always been intrigued. Good story. God, I'm full of so many good stories. Okay, well, enough of this redonkulousness. Let's get to it. I hope Coop's ready because we're catching up with Coop. We're catching up with Coop. Yeah. Okay, hey Coop.
Hey, Colleen. Hey, everybody.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm relieved. I talked yesterday. I had my interview this morning with the sheriff's department for my concealed carry permit. So that went really well. The guy seemed to think it was just a formality. So yeah.
So, how long was the interview? I'm just curious.
Almost half an hour.
Oh, it's that long. Okay.
Yeah,
Did you feel prepared?
Um, no, actually, because I think I told you I forgot about one thing that I didn't list as far as in 1987. It was the day I got initiated at Sigma Chi, and we had a party. And
Okay.
I was walking a young lady home to her. She lived like Webster Emerson, the off-campus dorms. It
Mhm.
was like a couple blocks away. So we walked through the park, and we were on the residential street, and a cop came out of the bushes, literally, and gave me a ticket for. I was only 20 at the time, so
So
I
wait,
got.
so you walked her home, like, were you carrying alcohol?
I had a like a red cup in my hand. So
That's how you do it in college, yeah.
so I heard all about that. So I fessed up about that and about
Wait,
I
so is that on
also
your record? Is that on your record or something?
yeah
From, like,
sure yeah because they had asked have you ever been misdemeanors or whatever, and I said no. I but I totally forgot about that. And yeah, like several years after college, I was at the fraternity house again. I was already living in Walnut Creek, but um, we were in the park, and one of the fraternity brothers there had some pot, and again, a cop came right out of the bushes, and the guy he ran right into the fraternity house. As soon as he saw the cop, he turned around and ran into the house, and because he wanted to be a lawyer, and he thought with that on his record, he wouldn't be able to get in. They
Oh,
wouldn't sit in the
wow.
bar and stuff. So the cop said basically, whose is this? And he was getting ready to basically go do a room to room search of the fraternity house during a party, looking for this guy.
Seriously? For some
Yeah.
pot?
Anyway, I got the ticket, and I took some class, and it was supposedly off my record, but I totally forgot all about that too. So I came clean up about that, and he said that was no big deal either. So
Well,
yeah,
that's good.
yeah.
Man, okay.
So but yeah, so that was like almost 30 years ago actually. So yeah,
Okay, so
but yeah, I've been a good boy,
before we go on, this is important, Coop. So first of all, Yvonne says, "Love the
oh,
blue shirt, Coop. It's your
thanks.
color." Okay. Karen says, "Hi, Coop."
Hey, Carrie.
And Karen says, "Good for you, Coop. I have my concealed carry here in Colorado."
Where on? Yeah, I when I first bought gun, I had no intention of concealed carry. I can't really give a good reason why I felt so compelled to apply, because it costs money and it takes a lot of time, and I have to take a 16-hour class now and whatever. But yeah, no, it just was something I just really wanted to do. So yeah, there's not a lot of people that have it, so I don't know. It just made me feel special. I don't really know. When we talked about yesterday, I do think that um, well, me in particular, yeah, this has kind of been a real kind of passion project for me. I don't have a lot of passions in my life, and so yeah, I'm feeling really compelled to kind of provide a counter to the stereotypical angry white man, with a bunch of guns, afraid of immigrants, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I want to start local chapter of the Liberal Gun Club here in Sacramento, and yeah, just I was telling you yesterday, more than half of new gun owners in the last year are women. So really, the demographics of who owns guns are changing, and just a lot of the content out there on YouTube and just the on public forums is from right wing angry men, and liberals are communists and whatever. So yeah, I think that there's going to be I want to start making a home for people that are like me. That there's really not a lot of places for like-minded people to congregate online and locally even. So yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
kind
I
of
really
been.
think as I told you yesterday, I think you could help. Oh, I just had it help maybe change the conversation a little bit. And I'm really excited for you. And you were talking also about didn't you say the shooting range you go to? Like you're making some friends there, uh,
Yeah,
and
I might even get a
your
job there.
husband told you you wanted to they asked you if you wanted to work there.
Yeah, yeah. My new friend Gary, he works there. But yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm taking my classes there, and also they like people that work there to have their permits because they're usually armed at work. So it's just it means that people have been trained and they have some experience and that they're not a criminal. So yeah, it's just kind of a hoop to jump through to work there. And yeah, I would because I would get my membership for free and get to shoot for free, and
Well, that's nice.
and actually, I don't know, being in Sacramento, it's kind of redneck here, but they all seem to be pretty normal. They're not. It's not again not a bunch of ex-military guys that are looking to they weren't present at January 6th in Washington D.C. They're not Proud Boys and all that kind of stuff.
Or
So yeah.
doomsday prep.
Yes, no, nobody like that. In fact, I've been there. There was a family in there shooting their ARs. Their day, a man, a wife, and two kids. They all had their own rifles, and
So wait, automatic rifles, is that the one that people are trying to stop?
yeah. It's
So
not really.
let me ask this, because I'm not historically a gun fan, but you say a lot of things that really help change my mind. And the fact that we have one, because my husband's from the Midwest and had to align with it in order to be with him. So I decided to be happy rather than right. And I like what you're saying about it sounds like the playing field is being leveled. Like you said, more women are getting them. So it's like a lot more sane people maybe are getting guns, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But why the fuck? What does anybody need is it semi-automatic?
Well, yeah. Well, you're talking about the AR-15 platform. What we call it. There's a bunch of different variations, and hundreds of companies make parts for it. But the reason is because it's really easy to shoot. There's not a lot of recoil, so particularly for women and for younger people, smaller people, it's very pleasant to shoot. It doesn't hurt your shoulder at all.
You know what? That is not a selling point.
Oh,
good. Make this an easier thing to use.
And it's just it's relatively inexpensive compared to a designated hunting rifle that are almost crafted by hand sometimes, and it's very, very customizable. You can have it be or do for any purpose you want, for home defense or for hunting. It's being used all over the place for hunting, because you can you put different calibers, you change the barrel on it and have a larger gun for elk, or make it smaller for if you're shooting rabbits or whatever. It's just very customizable. There's so many different parts available. It's very cheap, and it looks scary, but it really is just a gun like any other gun. I mean, it doesn't do anything that another gun doesn't do.
Okay. So I've had this up for so long. I want you to see this. Do you see what Karen says? Yeah. So I can take it down.
Guns. Well, it really has changed my opinion. I mean, gun control. I'm still pro gun control, but I see now that I'm aware of how the laws actually work, how little they actually do to promote safety at all. It doesn't make people any safer. The guns. There's a ban against assault weapons, but the classification of what is and is not a weapon is based on the kind of handle you have or the kind of grip you have on the gun. It's the same bullet, the same barrel, the same damage done. It doesn't make the gun any less lethal. It just makes it less, makes it more of a pain in the ass to own. Basically, they're trying to make it harder to own, and so people won't bother, I guess. So yeah, and handgun law, they really don't. They don't. I don't think they don't certainly don't affect people who are criminals that have guns, and yeah, they don't really. They're not really making people safer. They're people want to do something. I get that it is a problem, and politicians want to be seen as doing something, so they pass these laws that really don't. They really don't help. They're not helping. So that's my view on it all. But yeah, I'm a gun control loophole. They just closed the boyfriend loophole. Used to be if your spouse had been in trouble for domestic violence, they couldn't own a gun, but now it applies to boyfriends too. So
Oh, good.
yeah,
Okay.
10-day waiting period. Yeah, it's I have no problem with any of that. So and even like you can't go down to the store and just buy ammunition anymore. You have to like there's a background check for ammunition. You only buy ammunition for the guns that you own. So you can't like buy a bunch of ammo for something that you're not registered, don't have registered. So I mean, yeah.
And when people do kill people with guns, there's usually a bigger issue at hand. It's not really about the guns; it's about mental health and people not getting
Right.
what they need, and then become loose cannons. To
Yes.
another weapon.
And I mean, most of the guns that are used by people like that they're not registered, they're not legally owned already. The laws that are being passed really only were for people who agreed to abide by the law. So yeah, it just makes it harder to get and more expensive, and they're just trying to discourage people from having it. And they were trying to pass some. One of the reasons why I guess I was motivated to get my carry permit because they're trying to pass some law that would basically make it you can't carry even legally within 1,000 feet of all these different places that would essentially make it impossible to a fitness center, any governmental building, any bar. If you're on the sidewalk out in front of a bar, all of a sudden you're a felon. If you have a license to carry, you're legal until you walk in within 1,000 feet of that bar. If you're on the sidewalk in front of it, you're a felon until you walk away. So it's really hard for people to know. Oh, I didn't know that there was a fitness center in this mall. I mean,
Whew,
so
complicated.
yeah, so yeah, it is getting be and so and then the sheriff's association was against that because they're the ones that have to enforce that kind of thing. And how would they? You have to have these tape measures with them all the time and spend all the time. I don't know. So yeah, but it didn't pass. So they were one vote short because they wanted to make it enforced immediately instead of waiting for January 1. And it's a higher vote bar to do that kind of. So, and I guess it turned out that it was my local assemblyman, Ken Cooley, who's a Democrat, is the one that didn't vote for it. So yeah.
Well, okay. Hey,
So,
how about we do some energy work?
Yeah, enough about guns.
Thank you for sharing that. It helps
But yeah,
me.
no, I did go on a little bit long, but yeah, it's kind of a big part of my.
Oh no, it's all good.
I was a little nervous about seeing sheriffs, and I'm not good with law enforcement, never have been, and so yeah, I was. But he was a really nice guy. I was upfront with him about everything, and it was all cool. So yeah.
Awesome. And Yvonne's not wrong. That's a good color on you. You look really good.
Yeah, I don't. Well, actually, I'm wearing jeans for the first time today since March, I guess, because it's finally fall, and I wear shorts every day for the whole summer, and yeah, I collared shirt and jeans now. So I think it's my new. It's my new seasonal outfit. Yeah, it got kind of cold last night.
Oh, so did you? Oh, well, never mind. It doesn't. It's poof. Not important. Well, I'll just say it because it's not that important. But you had said like, yeah, I'm going to try to find something decent to wear to the sheriff's
Yeah,
office.
collared shirt. Yeah, but I still wore jeans. There was no guy there wearing like a suit. So I thought then another guy came in wearing like camouflage fatigues and t-shirt.
Mm.
But that's kind of reassuring that they do. They want to put eyes on you. They want to look at talk to you, and
Yeah, that makes me happy. That it gives me some hope that they're like, yeah, there
is a mechanism to refer someone for psychological evaluation first too if they get some kind of weird vibe or something. So
So how long will it be till you know if you got it or not?
Um, Within a week or two, I'll get a provisional, and then I go and get my fingerprint and take my class. And then a few weeks after that, so I take my class at the end of the month. So maybe in a
That's
month
a
or so.
15-hour class or something?
Yeah, two Saturday and a Sunday with a certified instructor from the county and all that. So,
Wow. Like an
yeah.
in-person class, or is it,
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, no, yeah, in person. And then you have to actually qualify. You have to give you targets, and you have to do like
wow.
fire 3 shots, reload, fire 3 more shots in a certain amount of time. And there's like 8. You have to get the number of. If you miss too much, they won't give you the permit. You have to get a
Wow.
certain score. Yeah,
Interesting process.
yeah. So
Well, cool. Well, good on you, and it makes me happy. You already know this, but I'll say it in front of other people. It makes me really happy that, like, I know what it feels like when you don't feel like you have any passion for
yeah,
something. That is mm, that is not a good feeling. And so it gives me tremendous joy as your longtime friend, that you're finding more passion. And I'm getting a kick out of that. It's for something that's not usually my thing, but you're helping me expand on it too and understand it more. And I really appreciate that. So I'm
I think
super happy.
I mean I was right there with you. Why would anybody need an AR for what? What do you need that for? So, but I kind of get it now. So yeah, and I do think they are going to try to ban them nationally. So maybe I'll try to get one just because I
Well,
can. Because I'm an American, damn it. I don't
well,
know.
awesome.
I don't know what the God-given right, all that kind of stuff. The Second Amendment is my permit. I'm not. No, I guns should
The
be.
Second Amendment is my permit.
Some people think that. Yeah, I don't. I'm not going to register anything. That's just a list of. So they know where to go and try to get your gun from you. So they don't register their guns. But no, I don't. Yeah, no, laws are good.
Well, and I love that there's all these hoops. It's good to hear all these hoops you have
Yeah,
to jump through for this. And yeah, that gives me more faith. It's kind of like when I had jury duty years and years ago, and I was actually chosen for a jury, which is great because I had quit my horrible intern or my job as a chiropractor with this group of people that it was not working. Um, yeah, and I had some time to like create my own practice and all that. But and in that time I was called for jury duty and I got on a jury and it was probably like 5 days of jury duty, which was great because I was had no income. Well, sure, I had a husband who's making quite good money, but I was earning like was it $15 a day, cha-ching, which really helped for me to go to a seminar that was really helpful, a helpful step in my journey. But anyway, blah 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 blah. But what I was going to say, I'm not here to brag about the $15 a day. Um,
no,
Pretty sweet, but it really did make a difference for me at the moment. Um, but it was Jimmy Lee Bills, that was his name, probably still is, and he was a Folsom prisoner, and this was his third strike. And his third
oh
strike was created because, as a prisoner at Folsom, he was caught with a shiv in the yard. And his whole argument was that how could it be a shiv? Because it was broken in two. Because I guess when they however they found it and then put him on the ground or something, it broke in half. And he's like, well, how could that be a shiv?
okay.
And the judge, like, everyone was so patient and offered him all the things to really help him get the support he needed and the counsel he needed. And he chose to represent himself
No,
like a fucking dumbass professional criminal he was. And the judge was so kind and just like, it's not too late. You can, yeah. But he was like literally chained to his chair. And so the
wow.
super hot district attorney or assistant district attorney, that was eye candy. So that was fun. Jimmy Lee Bills, not much to look at. But yeah, but the district attorney also had to stay seated because Jimmy couldn't get up.
Oh,
Anyway, but we had to find him guilty. We had to. Like there was no way around it. And then the judge actually invited us to the sentencing. And me and my like say I was number 7 and number 6 next to me. She and I got to be friends for a while, and we went to the sentencing. It was really interesting, and boy, did that guy shoot me looks, or shoot
Oh,
us looks.
really?
Yeah. But dude, I didn't do that, so
It's not your
but
fault.
going up to the judge afterwards and thanking him because it helped me feel better about the system. And maybe I'm sure all judges aren't like this guy, but man, he went the extra mile. He really tried to help this guy, and this guy was not helpable. So he got what he got, and yeah. And then to finish out the story, and then we'll get to some magic. But so me and juror number 6, whatever her name was, she turned out to be kind of a train wreck, and we didn't end up being friends for long. But anywho, yeah, um, we the trial ended. We were walking out to our car, and we ran into the super hot district attorney dude, and we're like, yeah, we really tried to find him not guilty. And he's like, well, it's good you did because, and I guess his priors were inadmissible or whatever. But
Yeah.
he's like, trust me, this guy is bad. Let's just say children are involved.
Oh, okay.
Got it. So, yeah. So I think the system is fucked up as it is. I think prisons are horrible. And I don't know what the better way is, but prisons are not a good answer, in my opinion, except for like Charles Manson. Oh, and gosh, I swear we'll get to the magic, but I just read an article the
Yeah.
other day, like somebody Winklevan so and so or whatever. I don't know if she's the last Manson girl, Manson
It was
follower.
denied.
Yeah, she was denied for like the 14th time for parole, and she's the longest serving woman in California history in prison. Um, And in the article, it mentioned what's her name, Susan Adkins, and how she had died. She was in prison for many years until she died in like 2017 or something. And I'm like, I saw that name, and I'm like, oh shit, ugh, so creepy. Because I know somebody who knew Susan in high
Really?
school.
Wow.
And Susan was just itching to get out of their craptastic town and go to the big city, San Francisco, where she promptly met Charlie.
Wow.
And it turns out this person that my good friend knows or knew, briefly, um, like she was the one who killed Sharon Tate because I read a thing where she was confessing and she kept stabbing her because Sharon was begging for her life and to spare her child, I guess, her unborn
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
And this chick killed her, stabbed her many times because she wanted her to stop whining, I guess, and then wrote Helter Skelter in her blood on the wall. It's like, oh my God, like everyone knows that story, but it's like, oh my God, like there's very few degrees of separation between me and that person. It's
I
like,
want to say
I
that
know
she stabbed her with a fork too, I think.
work. Oh, that would take a while.
Yeah, that's why I took 51, 52 stabs or whatever.
With a fork?
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Yeah. My parents had the book Helter Skelter, and I looked at the pictures. They had pictures of the crime scene, like the bodies whited out and stuff. And I'm recalling it incorrectly, maybe, but that's my recollection of the murder scene.
Well, I love the Beatles song. But anyway, okay, magic time. Now that we've discussed this good stuff, yeah, I'm fascinated by that shit, as creepy as it is. Yeah, okay, before I go on about anything, and I'll just also say we haven't watched the whole thing yet because I kept falling asleep, but Megan Thee Stallion, I think she was a good host of Saturday Night Live this week.
Yeah, I have no idea who she is. I have heard her name. That's all. I'm so out of it as far as pop
Yeah,
culture.
I don't know much about her, but I think it's safe to say I think she's a badass.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, because she's not Megan Thee Stallion. Anyway, okay. So let's see if we can do some energy work for the group. So it's safe and appropriate to do some work for the group. Yep. Okay, cool. So let's start by grounding. I'm personally feeling pretty fucking powerful. So I'm choosing my third chakra, so solar plexus, but pick a chakra, any chakra, and close your eyes and sit quietly and join me if you choose. Okay, so picture that chakra. So I'm going, like I said, I'm going with my third chakra, which is at our solar plexus. It's yellow, and I'm just picturing that yellow light getting bigger and bigger, filling up my body. So let's picture it filling up our bodies, and then the room we're in, the building we're in, the city, State, country, planet, out into the universe, sharing our light. And we're going to send some of that also, of course, down into beautiful Gaia for a little howdy do of energy and bring some of Gaia's energy back up into our energy fields. And then we're going to open our crown chakras and let in the cosmic energy. So it can do a little howdy do exchange with Gaia's energy. So we become an interface between heaven and earth. That's how I look at it. Okay, so that being said, how have we been talking for how have well at least I've been talking for 40
Yeah.
minutes. Time passes so quickly during this show. It blows me away every time.
Yeah, I was feeling bad for hogging all the time talking about stupid stuff.
You didn't. I told you yesterday, if you feel comfortable, I want you to talk about it
Okay.
because
Yeah.
well, you're always open about how you feel. You're so transparent. Why wouldn't you talk about something that even though it might be a little controversial, I feel like you talking about it makes it so much less controversial, at least in my mind.
Okay,
So,
cool.
so I thank you. You were invited, so no apologies needed.
Okay, okay.
And it's my show. Ultimately, it's up to me, and I can always tell you, okay, that's enough.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
But yeah. Anyway, okay. So that being said, safe and appropriate to do some energy work for the group. Yes. Okay. Are we going to release some dead people? Okay. So if there's any stuck souls, dead people with anybody watching now or in the future, we're going to. Okay, I should make sure this is clear. Dead people that are just ready to move on. They just need an exit strategy. They just need an escort to the light. They're not always all ready, but the ones that are ready within earshot, here we go. So Jesus is Jesus our best escort today? Yeah. Okay, Jesus, are you ready? Okay. So let's allow those dead people to move on to the light. So give me a moment. I'm sorry, give us a moment, Jesus and I. Okay, so have we successfully released any and all dead people to the light that we're ready? Yep, cool. Okay, so there's something energetic we can do for the group today. Yep. This is on my master menu. Yes. This is in column A. Yes. In an odd numbered row. Yes. In row 1. No. In row 3. Yes. Okay, I'm being led to my spirit animal chart. So let's see who we've got here. All right. And now that all my charts are redone, I don't know where anything is because they're so beautiful and so sterile looking,
Yeah,
but in
right,
the
man.
best possible way. Seriously, I feel like my mind's been swept out from redoing my charts and making them in color. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited I get to share color charts with my book. Anyway, so back to the healing. So this animal spirit guide is in column A, no. In column B, yep. In an odd numbered row, no. In row 4, 6, 8, 8. Our winner is squirrel. Okay.
Cool.
So let me grab my book. Squirrel. Remember the Scientologists would use the word squirrel in a weird way. Like, oh, that's a squirrel technique. Like
Really?
oh, well, I think like est, which is now landmark, I think
Okay.
education. I think they called that a squirrel something or other because whoever started it was a Scientologist or left Scientology and started that
Huh.
shit. So, from which I got lots of value until they, like any other fucking group I'm ever in, I get a bunch of stuff. That's great. And then they like try to control and be fuckers. And that's when I have to say, smell you later. So, yeah. So that being said, so I have a lot to say about Scientology. Okay. Yeah, I'm debating about how much I want to write about in my book. It's an interesting process. And I give them a lot of credit. And then the rest, as always, they can go fuck themselves. Okay, so that being said, squirrel. So squirrel's headline in my medicine cards book, which I highly recommend. Yeah, squirrel's headline is gathering. So, squirrel teaches you to plan ahead for the winter when the trees are bare and the nuts have long since disappeared. That's the first line. It teaches you to reserve something for future use, whether it be a judgment, an opinion, a savings account, candles, or extra food.
Mhm.
To put it in a nutshell, squirrel is the, oh, you'll appreciate this, Coop. Squirrel is the Boy Scout of the animal kingdom, always prepared.
Be prepared. Yes.
Yeah. So let's see. So am I to read something more on this page? So I'll read the highlighted part. Okay. So by readying yourself for change, I'm sorry. What I highlighted was half of a sentence. So I'm going to read the whole sentence. If Squirrel has scurried into your cards today, it may be that you are being told to honor your future by readying yourself for change. Yeah,
Honor
like
your
I'm
future. I like
constantly
that.
doing, what's that?
Honor your future. I like that idea because I don't do that a whole lot, to be honest with you. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Honor your future. Yeah, I do a lot of that. Yeah. Anyway, so if Squirrel has scurried into your cards today, it may be that you are being told to honor your future by readying yourself for change. The message could be to lighten your load if you have gathered too many things that do not serve you. These things can include thoughts, worries, pressures, stresses, or gadgets that have been broken for years. And that being said, one of the things I ask the universe for, because I'm always talking to my non-physical guides and helpers and asking them to help orchestrate good stuff. Um, yeah, one of the things I ask for is if there's anything in my life that we can like that is creating energetic leaks because I don't need to be concerned about them. I don't need to use much energy around these subjects. Like if there's anything, like bring it to my awareness so we can take this shit off my plate. Because nobody wants shit on their plate. That's really unappetizing. So but like one of those things was seeing a friend's post on Facebook that, yep, I did this, and her head was shaved, and seeing that within moments, never having considered shaving my head, like, oh fuck, I'm gonna shave my head. And it's been so great. Like so much concern about my fucking hair. And I get it, I'm older now and I'm married and he's cool with whatever I do. And I understand it wouldn't be everybody's gig, but who saw that coming? Like that took so much off my plate. Um, yeah, intermittent fasting. I don't have to cook as much because we're not eating as many meals. And
Right.
it's so wonderful. Um, taking cold showers isn't exactly the same thing, but it is badass. Like, are you still playing with that, Coop? Taking
Actually,
a
I after our talk yesterday, I did this morning. I did my well, I did Allons-y. I did my Dr. Hugh battle cry and went right full cold right to the very first second.
So what Coop's referring to is I highly suggest it. So when I get in the shower, and we have just a little stall shower, so there's not a there's no backing up.
Order hide, yeah.
And it's just like right here. And I look that not I look like this morning when I did it after my enemas, TMI. And I was cold. I was shivering because I was cold. It's legit, it's getting chillier.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there shivering, and I look at that nozzle before I turn it on, and I'm like, I say my battle cry every time. I had some badass music on in the background just to add to
Yeah.
it, and I looked at it, and I said, "Badass!" And then, and then I'm like, "Ah," and like scurrying to like get it all over me. And honestly, it blows my mind that before it used to be like, oh, I'm cold and I can't even stomach the thought of Dave taking a cold shower. Like, how can he do that? He must wake up in dread because he's going to face the cold water. And honestly, even when I'm freezing, it just feels that much more badass because it's shown me I can do hard things and it feels
Yeah.
badass. And it feels, and and that badassery feeling has leached into, in the best possible way, into the rest of my life. It's just one more random thing to make life awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand the exact mechanism because it shouldn't be that easy, but really, I guess things really did start to turn for me when I started getting cold water. Just I can do this. This is something I don't want to do. It's gonna suck, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And yeah, and also, and just especially first thing is it gets my heart going. It's like I don't need coffee in the morning. It really is very invigorating and very wakeful.
Yeah, and for me, it's like once there's that initial shock, I think they call it the diver's reflex, but basically you're shocking your
I set my breath and I'm like,
just
and I can't breathe for a second. I'm just, yeah, I have that for sure.
and I
It's,
haven't played with like different breathing type styles doing this. There's lots of room for growth here, but yeah, I even though I'm usually a wuss about being cold, I look forward to it and I want to be as cold as possible going into it because it feels fucking badass. I'm not kidding. So anyone could try this. And you can always play with it, you know, like I used to do. Like Dave's like, yeah, Dave just starts with cold immediately. And I was like, well, I'll end my shower with some cold if I can stand it. And that's
I
cool.
was, I was doing
But
that when I went full cold.
But man, starting it cold is that's right, badass. So I think it's really valuable to create a battle cry, like
Yeah, it was
whatever. It's like
fun.
inner peace, you know, or whatever.
Serenity now.
I'm a rock star. Serenity now. Oh, rest in peace, Jerry Stiller,
Yeah,
aka
yeah,
Frank Costanza, the inventor of the bro or man's ear.
yeah.
Okay, let's not go down too far on this Seinfeld thing. But anyway, so Squirrel is saying to lighten your load if you've gathered too many things. And once again, that can be things that don't serve you. Things can include thoughts, worries, pressures, stressors, or gadgets that have been broken for years. Um, yeah, and the more you pay attention to where you have leaks in your life, um, that things you dwell on or whatever, well, that's what I do. I look for, well, ooh, squirrel's inviting us to let go of things that don't work for us. Okay. So if something no longer grows corn for you, it's time to let it go. Da, 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 da. Well, I'm just going to read the last chapter here and we'll move on. Squirrel has another lesson which can aid you if you observe what is obvious and which can prepare you for anything. It has to do with the safe place in which you put your gatherings. This safe place is an untroubled heart and mind, and that which is gathered to put in this place is wisdom and caring. These energies gathered will set your mind and heart free so that you will know that all will be taken care of in its own time. Apply this to your own fears about the future and they will vanish. So that's a little message from our friend the squirrel. Yeah. And I know some people who are watching actually do have friends that are squirrels. So you know who you are. You know who goes out and routinely feeds them or waters them. Yeah, and I
I
know
guess
you're one of those people. Okay, so that being said, did we get what we needed from Squirrel? We did. Okay, so is there something else to do for the group for our highest good and well-being? Yes. Okay, this is on my master menu. Yes. This is in column A. Yes. In an odd numbered row. No. Okay, in row two. Row two. 4. Okay, so it is 2. So that takes us to trapped negative emotional energy. So stuck energy that wasn't processed and felt and worked through, so it became saved for another day. And in my book, I don't know why I have a microphone all of a sudden, but in my book, it's called, at the moment, No Lesson Left Behind. Okay, so where I was introduced to the idea that emotional energy can get stuck and it's been so long now. I'm so glad I wrote this I started this chapter a couple of years ago when I started my book because I didn't remember some of it, of how much it blew my mind. Like it was such new information, and there's so much magic that's come into my world now. It's like, oh, trapped emotions was a new idea for at one point, but sure enough, yeah. So this trapped emotion is in column A. Yes, in an odd numbered row. No, in row 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, our winner is trapped energy of not feeling valued. So, oh, and back to the squirrels. Yvonne says they are her sweet friends. Yeah, Yvonne has a lot of magic with animals, which which I love. Because animals are people too. Animals are a little bit superior to people, that in a lot of ways, I think. They get it. All right. So that being said, we're looking at not feeling valued. So we're holding this throughout our entire beings. Yep. Okay. So it's safe and appropriate and from the light to go ahead and clear this trapped energy of not feeling viewed for the group. Yes. Okay. Do we need to replace this not feeling valued energy with anything specific? Nope. So I'm just going to freestyle it like I do. Yep. Okay, cool. So we're going to send all of this energy, this vibration, this frequency of not feeling valued that's being stored in our energy field. We're sending it all to the light. And in its place, we're going to fill ourselves up with energy of forgiveness, energy of freedom, energy of feeling valued, worthy, a part, not apart from the group, but a part of the whole. Because we really are all connected ultimately in this crazy thing we call life. Okay, let's also put some energy of peace, calm, and serenity, and safety, security, and stability, and top it off with a dollop of love. And how about we'll also put in some energy of we're enough as we are, no matter what's going on in your life, you're still enough because you're here. Okay? On the planet, not here watching my show. But I'm not gonna lie, you do get some bonus cosmic points for being here. Here on my show, specifically. Okay, so that being said, so have we successfully cleared this energy of not feeling valued? Yes. Okay, is there another trapped emotion to look at right now while we're here? Yep. This is in column A. No. In column B. No. In column C. Uh-huh. Okay, in an odd numbered row. No. In row 2. 4. 4. Okay, energy of depression. Okay. So yeah. I haven't experienced a lot of depression lately, but I am well acquainted with its work. um, yeah, and I'm pleased as punch to say, yeah, that used to be a very solid part of my life to some degree, always, and it's not there anymore. And yeah, I have my bad days, some my bad days, but my bad days are less and less. And whatever comes up for me, I look into it energetically, and more often than not, I'm able to get through it. And I say all that because you can too. Read the book when I'm finally fucking done with it. Anywho, so that being said, we're looking at energy of depression for the group. So once again, anybody watching now or in the future. So this is being held throughout our entire beings. No. This is being held in a system in our bodies. Yeah. This is being held in our nervous systems. Yep. Which is everywhere in your body, basically. Okay. Anywhere else to note? No. Okay. So it's safe and appropriate for from the light for the group's highest and best to go ahead and clear this energy of depression now from our nervous systems. Okay, so we're sending all of that vibration, that frequency, that resonance of depression that we're holding in our nervous systems. We're sending it all to the light. And in the place of depression in our nervous systems, we're filling ourselves up with energy of forgiveness, lots and lots of light. Depression doesn't do well with a lot of light. Most dark things can't survive when there's enough light shown on it. Okay, so lots and lots of light and love, energy of. Let me just sit with this for a second. Okay, lots of energy of inner peace, and just a knowing that when we are depressed, more than likely, there's old energy that is trying to reveal itself by bubbling up in the form of depression that's just dying, begging to be healed. So we're taking care of a little bit of that right now. All right, so let's top this all off with a dollop of love. Okay, so have we successfully cleared this energy of depression from our nervous systems? Yes. Okay. Do we have time for one more thing? Yes. This is another trapped emotion. Oh, Okay. That's yes. This is in column A. Yes. In an odd numbered row. Yes. In row one. Ooh, anger. Oh man, don't get me started on anger. Um, I'm thrilled when anger shows up. Um, One of my favorite chapters, I'm at least for the moment calling it anger in my kidneys. Whoo. And when I get super triggered, when my anger is revealed and I work through it, inevitably magic is in store. So let's take care of some of this, at least a layer of anger for the group. So this anger is being held throughout our entire beings. Yeah. Okay, it's safe and appropriate for from the light to go ahead and clear this anger for the group. Yep, at least this layer. Yep. Okay, so we're sending all of this anger energy, that we're holding throughout our entire beings. We're sending this to the light, and in its place, we're filling ourselves up with energy of love and light and freedom, a dash of humor, because it really is all hilarious in the big picture, I think. How about some peace, calm, serenity, and safety, security, and stability? And once again, knowing that we are enough exactly as we are right now. Okay, so did we successfully clear this layer of anger from our entire beings? Yep. Okay. Is that an okay place to stop? Yep. Okay. So thank you, everyone showing up now, live and in the future. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'm thinking of maybe next week, if anybody's interested, let's have another guest on and work on something. And maybe one of those incarnation issues can come up for that person, and maybe we'll have the intention for it'll be a clearing for the group as well. So if anybody has any interest, send me a private message, and we'll talk about it. Anyway, I love you, Coop. Thank you so much for being here. The fact
No,
that you've been on my show for months now, has been magical, and couldn't have planned it better myself because there was no plan there.
I,
um,
I love it. It really is. It's like church for me. I guess this is my spiritual hour. So yeah, thanks for.
yeah, it's turned into something really lovely, and it's just, yeah, Coop, even if only you and I showed up, we'd still, I think magic would happen.
I
So
don't think it'd be a lot different. It would be pretty much the same as it is now. So
anyway, and so here's just you, like, little
oh
thank you
yeah,
from Karen, and a thank you from the lovely Yvonne
thank you all.
and
Thank
the
you
awesome
all you guys.
Artica. Okay, so hope to see you next week. And once again, let me know if you want to be a guest and either share something with us and or have a little mini session on camera. Anyway, I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye,
Takes a
everybody.
second
Thanks for joining.
to